Alright, you saw the thumbnail, you clicked the video, this will have spoilers for Mother. It's not what Mother means, it's my interpretation of it. So let's peel the layers, or the supposed layers, of this Darren Aronofsky masterpiece, as some people are calling it. I will not call it that, but let's look at what it means and what it's actually saying. So Mother uses the skin of this twisted relationship film about this guy who lives with this girl, but this guy doesn't really care about her, this artist or this poet who keeps writing to make himself famous and doesn't really care for all the work that the woman is doing in the house, taking care of their personal lives. This ultimately, of course, is God and Mother Nature and the relationship. God cares about humans and the people who live on Earth and doesn't necessarily care about how people treat their home. There is planet Earth, and Mother Nature, she cares about the home. She cares about making herself feel good and her husband, God, feel good about what he has created, and that is the house. And you see that throughout the movie. You see that with their relationship and how much he wants to create and how much frustration he feels because he's not able to create. However, she sees him not caring for where they live and how they live as a couple. And then Ed Harris, Adam, comes in, then Eve comes in, and they are very snoopy. They want to get into the house and get to know the house and go to rooms that they are not supposed to go to. And then Ed Harris is sick and he has this gashy wound on his side, and that is his ribs, and Eve was made from the ribs of Adam, and therefore she is Eve because she was made from him. She was a creation of Javier Bardem's character. And then they go into that room and break that crystal representing not only the house and Jennifer Lawrence's heart, but also the apple at the Garden of Eden. Then Darren Aronofsky also makes Adam and Eve the parents of Cain and Abel, in which Domhnall Gleeson comes in and kills his real life brother, actually, which I kind of forgetting the name of, but he's also named Gleeson in real life. And this opens up another wound in Mother, because being in the skin of a real person, having a real corporeal form representing the house as well, the blood that stays on there is a stain on the earth and what humans are doing to the earth. And we will get into how humans hurting each other damages Mother Earth in a little bit. So then in comes the funeral, and people start painting the house as well and touching the house and going into their room and going into rooms that they should not belong in, being very snoopy, being very disrespectful, even calling her cunt, and doing things in the house that they would only do in their house. And that's how we treat Mother Earth. This is our house. This whole planet is our home, and we treat it like we see fit, not respecting Mother Nature herself. And this keeps going on throughout the movie, ever escalating, because even in that scene where those two people are sitting on the sink, Jennifer Lawrence keeps asking them to not sit there because it's not safe, it's not secure, they must remove themselves, their asses, from that. And they keep on sitting there and on sitting there and on putting more weight until it breaks. And then we have, of course, a movie by Darren Aronofsky, The Flood, Noah, it's there, and then even more people come later on after they have sex, and in comes a scene in which they represent Mary and Joseph, and the baby can represent baby Jesus. This is when all the people have gone crazy. They believe in the prophets, they believe in the Messiah, they believe in God and His Word, and they want to see His work, and they want to spread His work, and His work spreads and makes people crazy, and therefore we see the dark times of religion. Even Kristen Wiig comes into the picture, and she is his editor. Therefore, she is the church, and now the church has manipulated people throughout history. So necessarily this is not a movie about religion, but rather about faith and how religion can corrupt the faith and belief in God. And so then they have their kid because Jennifer Lawrence gets pregnant, and the kid, yes, more fittingly represents Jesus, but then he gets delivered to the humans after they get the presents from the three wise men, and the humans want to spread the word of Jesus. They want everybody to see the baby and the work, another creation of God, and Jennifer Lawrence wants to keep the baby safe, again representing kind of Mary on that point. And then the humans kill Jesus. Jesus dies, but because the baby doesn't get resurrected, he may not only represent Jesus, but he may also represent two other things, and that is Earth's natural resources in which we use and abuse until we will eventually run out of it, but he can also represent humans, and we are going back to the Cain and Abel and how the blood there damages Mother Earth, and how we as humans cannibalize each other. They're eating the guts and the brains and everything of the baby. They're eating the baby, and how we cannibalize each other and kill each other for our own personal profit, not caring for life as a whole and the planet as a whole. And when Mother Earth lashes out at the humans because they are killing her slowly and everything that she creates as well slowly, we lash out at Mother Earth and treat her very poorly. They start beating Jennifer Lawrence up until God picks her up and he tries to make her all better. And then she just lashes out at God. She is tired of God, and this is where we get to how this film can offend some people. Because Javier Bardem's character God in this film, he's a narcissistic piece of shit dickhead. That's what he is, that's what he is looked like in this film, because Jennifer Lawrence, this film is all her perspective, this is all her view, and this is Darren Aronofsky being very personal, and this is him showing Mother Earth's perspective on this whole thing, how he perceives Mother Earth looking at this. And so you have too many layers in this to analyze. There's also another interpretation in which I can see Jennifer Lawrence, at least in some portions of the film, being Lucifer and being the angel that was the right hand of God and not wanting humans to go to heaven. You can also look at the house as heaven. And when God created humans and he wanted to bring humans up to heaven, Lucifer didn't accept that and he went against the word of God. And eventually he descended down upon hell. Because Lucifer was God's favorite angel. Lucifer was his right-hand man, and so you have portions of the film that can represent that. I, however, do not know what the yellow elixir means, but my best guess about the yellow elixir is that it's just on the surface level of the film, and it kind of can represent Earth's natural healing factor, because we know that if we stop damaging the Earth actively for a little bit, Earth can heal herself for a little while, very slowly, but it has done it before, it will do it again. And we also have that chaotic sequence before she finally has the baby where everything is going to shit and we have policemen everywhere trying to attack her, trying to save her, and that can be looked upon as the wars that ravaged the world throughout history. Even before that we have some references, again, not only to Noah's Ark, but also the plagues of Egypt with the frogs and the flies coming into the house in very, very subsequent scenes, and that's how I connect them at least. And there's this line before we get to the end that Jennifer Lawrence just normally, as if it was nothing, says to Javier Bardem, well, I'm preparing for the apocalypse, before she has her baby, because she knows the possible consequences of having this baby being the son of this famous poet and what he creates. And then by the end she just destroys all of mankind. Javier Bardem survives, of course, because he's God. And as he's carrying her burnt body, she is like, why wasn't I enough? And he's like, I'm a creator, I must create, because if I do not create, what do I do? And so we have this constant eating out of each other because they cannot survive with their own beliefs. God has to create, and he will create life and humans, and by creating this we will damage the earth because we will be creatures with our own self-thought. We will be sentient creatures and we will think about ourselves and the Word of God. And even if we do not think of the Word of God, we will take everything as if it was our own as they start to ravage their house because it was created by God. And that is a perfect visualization of what we do as human beings, as flawed as we are, in this interpretation of the movie as this allegory. So then Javier Bardem takes her heart, he recreates the house all over again, and you can kind of look at this as the Big Bang, because the Big Bang is spoken about as an event that created the whole universe, but then again, an explosion destroys, does not create. So you can look at the Big Bang and think of it as an eternal loop, so much so that when the last girl wakes up and the movie is going to start all over again, I thought immediately about the beginning and that close-up of the eyes as it was starting to burn. I was like, that first shot was not Jennifer Lawrence. And then we go into Jennifer Lawrence after a look at the crystal, and she wakes up and she calls for Javier Bardem. And the loop starts all over again. And God is going to create, and Mother Earth is going to get hurt, and then it's going to happen shit all over again. She's going to have a son, we're going to cannibalize our son and ourselves and life itself. And so to me, all these layers and all these allegories and all these interpretations that I may have, or that you may have if you agree or disagree with me, that is really the true power of Mother and the power of storytelling that thrives on this movie. Darren Aronofsky truly understands the power of a piece of art and how a piece of art can interpret several things and have so many layers, and that is the most powerful and beautiful things about film for me. I saw that in this movie, and ever since I saw Mother, I keep thinking about it, and I love thinking about it. Again, I will not call it a masterpiece, but it's damn well fascinating how we can still have movies like this, and again, completely understandable how people may be offended at this movie. God in this movie is 100% a nihilistic, narcissistic dickhead. He's a douche in this film. Darren Aronofsky clearly is on Mother Nature's side. But those are my very confusing thoughts on Mother, how it can be interpreted or seen as, what the allegories might mean, how many allegories does it have. Do you have any idea what the yellow elixir might mean? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the freaking best. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Hope you enjoyed this movie. Hope you have many different interpretations that you can share in the comments below. Tomorrow I have a review for Lego Ninjago and many other reviews coming next week. So until tomorrow, you stay beautiful, you stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so we can be geeky united!